Well, here we are. My computer conveniently decided to take a dump on me as I was trying to get in here. It seems like we're okay now, but I have not heard from Miss Michaela Miller yet. Hopefully she will be on with us shortly. Just exit out here. I was prepared to start the stream from my phone, which is why you may have seen two of me. Going to contact here. I don't know if you can hear me, but I am not seeing myself in real time on my computer. Appears to be working well on the phone. So, copy to clipboard. I know what's going to happen if I do this. Yeah. And for some reason, she's not able to join us. So I guess we'll just be on our own. Browser has lost. Okay, so now it's lost me on the computer, but I'm here on the phone. So I guess that's what it is. My computer's totally freezing up again. I'm just going to leave the studio on this end because I have to shut this down. I'll stay on here. You can tell I'm a technological wizard, right? It's not doing anything. Oh no, my tea's getting cold. I have to go old school hard shutdown. Well, work on the autism hour commences. It's been frustrating on that end. Just trying to get this video file saved. It's not been working out. So, and then trying to split the file in two has not been as easy as I imagined it would be. So, just got to keep rolling with the punches, hoping I don't lose everything I've worked on there so far, because that would be a shame. But I say we just roll with the punches. So if it's lost, then it's lost. Not much we can do there. Also put up another video about racism in America, which will probably be part of a series. If you haven't seen my original videos on racism, they're some of my most viewed, and they're terrible. So try to get a little bit better about that. Sometimes I start frothing at the mouth when I hear these white nationalists and separatists talking. So probably keep ranting at you for about 6 more minutes before I give up this endeavor for the moment and see what else I can do. The Raging Atheist is live now, having a good time with a bunch of guys and girls on the Smoky Saint burial. So, watching that before I came on here. Tried to get on early and had all these issues with the computer, and now it's turned off. So, can't be the worst stream I've ever had. It's just me here. And to anybody coming out of any faith, whether you've done a deconversion story or not, if you'd like to tell your story here, that's what this is all about. My personal channel is just me talking and my stories and my opinions, and this channel is more about getting to know other people and their stories and their opinions and their thoughts and so forth. So that's what I'm hoping to achieve. Oh,
Hi.
hello, Michaela.
Sorry, I was having a hard time
How are
getting
you
the link
doing?
to open. I'm doing well. How are you?
No, not bad, not bad. It's Murphy's Law for me over here, so I ended up having to use my phone. I hope it's not too bad.
I'm using mine too. My computer is like from 2012, so. But yeah, hi. I'm just here with my dog. She's laying on my lap.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, it's a cute little doggy.
Yeah, she is. She's right there. Say hi, sweetie. Yeah,
All
where's your
right,
face there? Hi.
so been live for a few minutes here, huh? Oh,
Okay. Do you, is there a particular
cute.
spot where you'd like to start? Or do you
Cool.
have like
Well,
questions or?
yeah. So I basically thought we could start kind of from the beginning, as far back as you want to go. So I understand you weren't brought up in the faith, right? Is that right?
Actually, no. Um, Interestingly, um, I was raised in a secular household, sort of an anti-religious household, as a matter of fact. But when I was a teenager, I was having some hard times. I was living with my biological mother, and she wasn't home very much, so I was mostly home by myself. I was away from my four siblings, and I had some friends who were Christians, and they basically presented Christ as this panacea to heal all of my emotional, like, disarray and give my life purpose and everything that sounded appealing that a confused teenager kind of wants to hear. Um, Sort of this offering of stability, and which is just the fact that people seem to prey on a person's weakest spot to Jesus smuggle them. That's the borders on malice, I think. But so that was like the start. Um, Sort of long story short, lots of time passed, uh, and it's so just skip ahead 10 years, and we can talk more about that time if you want. But it's yeah, and I'm in this Catholic class because I'm interested in Catholicism for whatever reason. I just got a wild hair at my ass. I was interested in it, and I was partaking in the RCIA classes, which is like the rite of uh, Christian initiation for adults, basically adult confirmation class. And I was asking a lot of questions, and they would get annoyed when I would ask questions, and I didn't seem to like the fact that everything came back to, well, you just have to take it on faith. And that was like, I thought that was at the bottom of every line of questioning. That was at the end, right? And I'm just like, why do we have to do that? And then everybody in the class would be like, why are you here? Like, if you don't want, like, if you don't want faith, why are you here? And I'm like, I don't know. Why am I here? That's a good question. So then I ended up leaving Christianity, which
So,
is it's a
I
little
had
bit.
never heard of that.
Sorry.
Sorry, I had never heard of the RCIA. What do they believe specifically?
Well, it's Catholic. It's how you become a Catholic as an adult. So they teach you the catechism and they teach you Catholic beliefs and about the sacraments and shit and why you're going to hell. Things of this nature.
Okay,
And
got it.
yeah, so my family
Sorry,
are
I'm having
Christians. Most of my friends are
a little
Christians
bit
because I
of
went to
trouble
Bible
hearing on my
college.
end.
Sorry? I think we're having a connection problem.
Yeah, it sounds good. I'm actually like trying to listen to the YouTube at the same time to kind of catch up because I broke up in a couple parts. But okay, so
You're
but you're
listening to the
at the
YouTube
Bible
and the
college, right?
StreamYard at the same time. This is a mistake. Just listen to the StreamYard.
I'm trying. Yeah, because I was like, you broke up, and I was like, dang it, what did she say there? I don't want to, ask you any questions to stuff you're already answering here. You're going through quite a bit of what I
So just
have.
listen to the StreamYard and me talking right now.
Um, no, no, it's great. I knew you would have a lot to say on this. So yeah, what was your time at Bible college like?
The worst. The actual worst. It was the worst. So I
Uh,
figured, hey, I'll go to Bible college and it'll be a super supportive environment and people will work hard because they'll be motivated by like how like the Bible says to be a hard worker and they'll go by that and it's going to be terrific. No. Wrong. Am I allowed to curse? Did you hear what I just asked? It seems like you should be
no,
hearing the words that I'm saying.
that's why I'm like lagged here.
So my question was, am I allowed to curse?
Let me see if I can hear you in the restream. It's gotta be the worst. Is my Oh yeah, you curse, of course. Shoot, major lag here. Okay,
Yeah.
no,
So hang on. What is happening? A site is using it. Yes. Tap to
I'm gonna
return to
try
StreamYard.
shutting
Okay.
off my
Excellent. Thank
camera
you.
and just seeing if that helps at all.
Okay. Can you hear me like live right now? Hi, Sadie. You're a good girl.
Yeah, I kind of started up because I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure like what to uh, what to do with that. So yeah, I've got to say
I
I'm still getting accustomed to the live streaming thing. I keep messing it up. So
are you watching on StreamYard or on YouTube?
yeah, I'm watching us on YouTube on my
Okay.
other phone, but
Okay. Watch
it's
us
a bit
on
behind.
StreamYard because there's a huge lag. Seriously. Like we can't have a back and forth if you're watching on YouTube.
Oh no, well I mean I have us on the StreamYard. No, I have us on the StreamYard here. It's not like up on this one.
But are you listening to the StreamYard feed? I'm guessing not, because you haven't answered yet.
Yeah, yeah. I'm in the StreamYard feed here.
Okay, so close the YouTube feed and just have the StreamYard open. Or mute the YouTube stream.
So you can't. No, like I said, it was just that the StreamYard feed was breaking up for me, so that was why I. Uh-oh.
Okay,
Now it's
so
breaking
are
up
we
again.
live now? Can you hear me? Say it again.
Yeah, I hear you now.
Okay. So, Bible college was the worst. People were.
Are you hearing me?
Yeah, I can. There's a lag. Like, you're not. It's not live. You're not. Sadie, go away. Maybe you should reconnect.
I'm just gonna try it. Yeah, I might do that really quick.
You want the blanket, sweetie? Come on. Get your blanket. Go get your ball. Good girl. You found your bone. Yeah, is your face itchy? Don't eat your feet. Get your bone. You literally just put it right there in front of you. Come on, sweetie. Get your bone. Are you there now?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. So,
Better.
yes. Yeah, that's better. So, Bible college, the worst. I ended up having to drop out because of things that were beyond my control. I'm still salty about it, but whatever. It would have been nice to finish my degree. But that sound you're hearing is the sound of my dog chewing on her bone.
Yeah.
She's a maniac. But, yeah. Do you have another question? Like a follow-up?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get this right. If I can't, then I might have to. This connection is not getting better. I'm trying to find a better spot, but yeah. So I had a bit in between that. It's kind of regarding. You kind of made mention of it. Do you think there's a kind of link between people seeking like spiritual relief from mental health issues?
A link between that and what?
I got totally disconnected. I'm sorry,
Okay.
this is not working out well for me tonight.
That's all right.
Yeah, it's weird. I've even done like open rooms here. I've never had problems like that.
Clearly, it's God preventing this evil
Okay,
from
so
being
I
spread.
don't know were you able to get my last question or?
You said something about the link between people with mental health issues, but the link between that and what?
Exactly. I hate our blasphemy.
Like what was the whole question? Was there more to it?
For seeking spirituality, like seeking
Do I
spirituality
think
for
that
relief from that. So rather
people
than
seek?
getting mental health treatment, they would
Oh
turn to
yeah,
God.
absolutely. I mean that's what was offered to me. Spirituality was offered to me instead of mental health treatment. I didn't even know mental health treatment existed until I was like 19. And I went to the doctor and told them I wanted to die, and they were like, "You're going to the hospital." And I'm like, "The who? Like, what's happening?" And it's sad, right? Because it's
Oh
this.
well.
It's sad because people who are really struggling turn to religion, because spirituality and religion are different in my mind. When I say spirituality, I mean like meditation and stuff like that, which is very beneficial, objectively. But I do think that people turn to religion out of like when they're depressed or anxious, or a lot of times the things that come with OCD, like intrusive thoughts, are attributed to the devil, right? Like it's the devil whispering in your ear over and over again to light your dog on fire. Like it's like no, it's a problem in your brain and you need therapy and possibly medication. Like you don't need more religion. And it would be frustrating because I was locked inside this echo chamber of feeling terrible and having very clear like symptoms of severe psychiatric illness, and people just telling me to pray more. And to which I would say, I feel like I'm doing that. Why isn't it working? Well, just give it time. Well, I'm running out of time. And it never helped. They would always say, just keep doing it. It'll help eventually. You'll have peace. But of course that never arrives. So
Right. Yeah, and I hope we didn't cover this earlier, but you did talk about going back a little bit, how during your conversion it kind of actually contributed more to your anxiety. You felt like your friends and loved ones might be going to hell, and
yeah,
kind of made.
I would say that started happening about pretty quickly after my conversion, actually, because they teach there's this principle in especially evangelical Christianity where you should wear your faith on your sleeve, and everybody should know that you're a Christian, and you should always be telling people about Jesus. And if you're not seeing people like accept the truth in quotes of Jesus on a regular basis, you must be doing something wrong. And so yeah, that creates anxiety, and it creates this sort of burden that you feel like you have to live up to. And just the whole notion of hell, it's scary. Like even if you think you'll go to heaven, you don't know for sure. I mean, it's imagine that you knew that everyone in your life was walking, if they didn't change, they were on the path towards conscious torment forever. And there was something you could do. All you had to do was get them to accept Jesus, quote unquote, because that's not actually in the Bible. All you had to get them to do is accept the truth of the gospel and repent and admit that they're a sinner, right? And they can avoid this eternity of conscious suffering. And I mean, that's heavy. That weighs heavily upon you because in church, in sermons, they'll say, imagine you get to heaven and you see all these people who are in the line to go to hell, and they look at you and they say, "Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you say something to me? If you knew this was happening, why didn't you warn me?" And that's scary, and it's frightening, and it makes you feel guilty if you're not talking about your faith. And then of course people treat you differently because you're a little bit nuts, a little bit. I'm not saying all religious people are mentally ill or anything, but it creates this complex in you. So you are it does, after a while, you do become a little bit nuts. And, so there's social ostracization that happens, and you feel like you can't be angry, you can't be upset, you can't fail at things, because then it's not you failing, it's God failing. And if people see that God fails, they won't believe in him, and they'll have this eternity in hell. And that's too much for a person.
I could see how that would weigh on you. So now, post-Christianity, you talk about what you call the void of not having faith, right?
Yeah.
So what was that like for you? There,
I mean, it still persists. Have you ever been a religious person?
So I would call myself like maybe a spiritual. I kind of
Have you ever
tried
had
being
like
religious.
this deeply held God belief?
No, not
Okay,
really.
so imagine for a moment that there is this being. It created the universe. It created everything, right, with you in mind. And it's something that Christians like to say: if you were the only person on earth, Jesus still would have come and died for you. They like to say that, and it makes you feel special. It makes you feel like you matter in this entropy that is the universe, right? This random accident that we're all living in. It makes you feel this sort of cosmic significance, and you're not alone inside your own brain. And so I'm sitting here in the basement. My roommates are upstairs. My dog is here. But to a Christian, Jesus is right here, right next to me. He's not even sitting next to me. He's inside me in a non like that, but he's like he's inside your brain. He's closer. Something else I like to say: Jesus is closer to you than your own beating heart. And so he's literally like, his fabric becomes one with yours. So you're never truly alone. You're never alone. I mean, I've always felt incredibly lonely as a person. It's shaped who I am as a writer more than anything else. But so when that's gone, when you lose that never being alone, that always that cosmic significance, when that goes away, there's just this hole, and you're just staring at it like, now what? And it's like, because they say that there's a God-shaped hole in you, but what is there really? There's an existential hole in you. There's questions that need answers, and there's a longing that needs to be met. And like you have senses that need to be appeased, and Jesus presented as, oh, all you need is God, all you need is Jesus, and he'll fill all of that. He'll take care of all of that for you. You don't have to worry about a thing.
Would you say it's like moving from a state of certainty to a state of doubt? Something like
I mean,
that.
that happens sort of in the deconversion process. Is when the doubt starts to rise, which is a good thing. Certainly it's a good thing. But it's deeper than that. Leaving Christianity, as a former very devout Christian, and very psychologically dependent upon my God belief, it's hard for me to even come up with words. I think an image that I used at one point was so I'm born and raised in Minnesota. So imagine you're trapped under a frozen lake, something that can happen. You fall through the ice. You can't find like the sky hole, and so you're swimming, and you finally see some light coming through the top of the water, and you think that that's the surface, and you're just there's no oxygen left in your lungs, and it takes the last of your effort to get through the hole in the ice, and you're just so looking forward to taking a deep breath, and you inhale automatically as you break what you think is the surface, but it's just more water, and now you're just floating in this abyss. And with all that buildup that you had just experienced just moments ago, all that anticipation, and now it's gone, and there's nothing you can do. And I mean, that's how it feels. Like that's how it feels. This emptiness that has been left. It feels never ending, and as soon as you feel like there's some relief, when you approach it, it seems to just vanish, and it just seems to be so illusory. And certainly this is not everyone's experience, but hopefully it's not even most people's experience. But yeah.
It's definitely something that can't be fulfilled by like personal relationships and social interactions. It's something like that's within you, right? That
Yeah,
you're seeking that
yeah, it's something
saving.
that it can't be replaced. It just can't. There's nothing that can replace that, and you sort of have to come to accept that you know, either you have to learn to live with uh, this this sort of feeling of emptiness inside you, or I don't know. I don't know what the alternative is. Learning to meditate has helped a lot. Um, Mindfulness meditation, vipassana, some dzogchen, zen occasionally. Um, I found that to be incredibly helpful, and it pisses me off because in Christianity they caution you against that. Anything that comes out of the Buddhist tradition must be satanic, right?
Right.
It must be the work of the enemy.
Or if you do get
Sitting,
anything
sitting,
out of
sit,
meditation, they'll say it's God's voice or something like that, right?
I have had someone, people will want to talk about how I've left Christianity and learned to meditate. What do you meditate on? And I just gesture vaguely to everything, like all of it. It's all around.
Right.
But just the simple act of sitting and focusing on your breath, and when your thoughts begin to wander, you refocus again and again and again. Um, Learning to sort of work out that part of your brain. Uh, it's incredibly helpful. Learning to focus like that. Hi, sweet girl. It's been really helpful to me. That's been the thing that replaced prayer, because I would lay awake, and normally I would pray, right, just quietly, like, or silently in my mind, because God can hear your thoughts, right? And it took weeks for that impulse to sort of go away. Can I have a kissy? Thanks.
Uh, so kind of shift gears a little bit. So how did you get involved with Pangburn? You're over there a lot now. You're kind of an activist with skepticism now.
Yeah, I would say I'm an advocate. Is that the word you used? Advocate for skepticism?
I think I said
Um,
activist, but it could be either. Yeah.
Activist. Yeah. Which some of my friends think I'm doing the devil's work. Actually, they think that. Um, which is just silly. Well, I started watching the Sam Harris, because in order to fill the void inside, I would often listen to just like atheists talk about stuff, just talking, right? Because it made me feel less alone. I used to listen to sermons just to have someone just talking, and sorry. So I started getting really into Sam Harris because he's got that like super soothing, amazing, fantastic voice. And I found the debates that Pangburn did, and then he started doing more open forum type stuff, and I just joined up. But yeah.
Awesome. Well, yeah,
For,
you're doing a lot of contributing over there now. You're one of my favorite players.
Yeah, well, stepping back a little bit now, so
Yeah,
for a while, but
got you. Are you working on other projects or just like personal stuff?
yeah, I've always got other stuff in the works. I I do pixel art. I have a couple pretty large pixel art projects that I'm working on for a friend, and yeah, I'm working on my second book. I got my first book published when I was 20, and I'm still writing articles and stuff for Pangburn. So
Really? All right.
yeah, I've always got some stuff in the works. It's different now that I'm sick. I can't quite do as much as I could before, but here's just a little. I know you didn't ask for this story, but I'm going to tell it to you. So I was at a um, I was at this thing that my friend he was doing this class, and I have this disease now. I've had it for almost 2 years, where basically my nervous system doesn't quite work right. So if I walk for too long, or if I'm standing up for any real length of time, I'll collapse or pass out or just black out. But so I use a wheelchair for like distant stuff like grocery shopping or going to events or stuff like that. And I was on my way out of Christianity, and I knew it, and my friend knew it, but I hadn't fully accepted it yet. And so I'm in my chair, right, and have my feet up because the legs come up and it helps prevent blood pooling, so I have more energy. And long story. And this couple comes up to me, and the way that they sort of corner me, I'm like, oh shit, I know exactly where this is going. And that's where it was going. They were like, can we pray for you, without asking what was wrong or like why I was in the chair or anything. And they broke out the big guns. They brought out the leg lengthening hoax. He like
Oh,
grabs my feet, which is very strange. Like, don't just be touching people. And he's like, see how one leg is longer than the other? And I'm like, oh my fuck. I actually said to this very devout Christian, oh my fuck, this is a scam. I know what you're doing. You pull the one shoe out, so it makes it look like one leg is longer, and then you just wiggle it around. Well, and then you think that then the person thinks that they've been healed, and then you tell them in the gospel and they accept the Lord. Like, it's the tale as old as time, right? If you haven't seen the videos of it on YouTube, it's so excellent. Just YouTube leg lengthening Christian or something.
I'll have to look into
And
it.
so they hit me with this, and I'm like, I know what that is. And they're like, well, you never know. And they're like praying for like my legs to work. And I'm like, you know that I can walk, right? I just can't do it for that long, like at all.
Yeah, they understand the illness they're trying to cure.
Yeah, so they're like praying for me, and this lady like puts her hand on my head, and I'm like, ugh. I'm literally making eye contact with my friend who's leading the class, right? I'm making eye contact with him the whole time, like, you seen this? This is weird, right? I don't know what to do right now. And then the lady's like, you're gonna notice some changes in your body, and inside I'm like, am I gonna go through puberty again? Like, what's gonna happen? And it's so strange. It's so strange. Like, and that's the part
Yeah,
of Christianity that I was from. Like, I empathize with that because I used to be like that. And they tell you that if you're not doing stuff like that, then you're not a good Christian. And it's just so toxic and uncomfortable for everybody.
yeah, especially if they're not of the faith. I
I
remember going
know.
to a church one time when I was younger with a friend and his family, and kind of had a similar thing. They brought us up on stage and they were healing people, and they
I know.
insisted, well, something's got to ail you, and I said, oh yeah, my knee's kind of sore, and he did the whole touch my knee, pray over it, and it was so awkward, but I just pretended. I just went, yeah, I feel much better now, so I could get out of there,
Oh no.
like,
Yeah. Yep. If a
yeah,
person thinks that they've been healed by the Lord, that is the thing that they will defer to. When you present them with every argument and you break down every fallacy, they'll always defer to, when I was a kid and I was sick, people prayed for me and I got better. How can you explain it? That's their go-to. It's their break glass in case of emergency. And it's
Yeah.
so when people have a story like that, it's like, yeah, what do you do? There's nothing you can do. I mean, what are you going to say? No, that didn't happen. And they're not satisfied with, well, obviously something happened, but we don't know what it was. I'm sure there's an explanation. If you can't provide that explanation, they got of the gaps so hard.
Yeah, the placebo of prayer.
Yes. Okay, Sadie, can you stop unplugging my headphones, please? Can you go get your toy? Where'd you go get your goose? Go get Mama Goose. Or take your bone and go in the other room. That works.
So yeah, so we could circle back, I guess, to I think it's your most recent War of Ideas publication, which was the open letter to your youth pastor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was very sweet. And I don't know how much you want to talk about that. And I wanted to ask you kind of, at least at that stage of your life, it seems like maybe there were some benefits to being in the Christian community. And what do you think the benefits
Yeah.
of community?
Yeah, I'm happy to talk about that piece. As I said in the article, I was a Christian out of necessity. I didn't really have anyone else to talk to except for, church people, and all my friends were Christians, and I wanted to fit in. And they told me that Jesus could heal my depression and make me feel like I had a purpose in life. And I believed it. I mean, I believed it. I did. I bought into it. I drank the Kool-Aid. And I feel bad because I saw him last. And for those of you who haven't read the article, basically it's my expressing to my former youth pastor that he didn't fail me as I deconverted. A lot of people in my life, because I went to Bible college and I went to church like a lot. Like I would go to church like two or three times a week, in high school, and they all asked what happened, like what's wrong, what happened to you. And it's just sad because this my one particular youth pastor. The last time I saw him, I hadn't seen him in like 8 or 9 years, right? And I flew home to see my family, and a couple months ago, and I went and visited him last minute. I wasn't planning on going to the town where he lived, but I had a diversion and ended up having to be there for a couple days. So I went to see him, and just with tears in his eyes, he looked at me and he said, "I'm sorry if I failed you." And I'm like, how could you think that? Like, you were the only one who was there for me, and it it's just so sad, like the guilt that Christianity puts in people. And I'm like, you're a good man, you really are. And he's like, no, I'm not a good man, but God is good. And I'm like, fuck that. Like, and they teach you that, like, there's nothing good in you. The only thing good in you is Christ in you, the hope of glory, right? And it's just, it's heartbreaking to see that. It's like, I'm like, if you really believe that, let me take that from you. It's let me take that burden from you and I'll carry it, okay? Because that's not something that you need. And it's unfortunate, and it's what Christianity does to you. It makes you think that you're broken, that there's something wrong with you, and it's just not true.
Yeah, I found that with any of the really genuine Christians in my life, it's always the people, and you can tell the difference between people who are still accepting of you, even when they know that you don't believe anymore, or didn't believe in the first. Either way, whatever it may be, that's the real like Christian ethos, right? Is to
Yeah.
love everybody no matter what. That's the way I've primarily been taught. So it always shocks me when you come across like these really hateful Christians. But I've seen more and more of them all the time. It makes it difficult.
Yeah, and it's
Um,
they just carry such a heavy burden, and it's unnecessary, you know? It's Sad.
Suffering again. The burden of sin, right?
Well, yeah, and it's the burden that you have to live your whole life in such a way that people will see Christ in the way you live your life. Like there has to be something you are expected to add this sort of supernatural component to your life that doesn't exist. And sad. I know I keep saying the words "it's sad." I don't know what else to say. It's just so sad. Like it bums me out.
Yeah, it is. And it's sad that you can't talk to them reasonably about it.
I mean, I'm sure that I could talk to this particular person. I chose to write it in a public format because I wanted to bring light to the topic in general. So I wanted to bring light to the fact that people actually think this, and people actually take on these burdens, and it's unnecessary. It's just unnecessary human suffering that no one is talking about, or at least I don't see anyone talking about it.
Yeah, it's especially not within their community.
Yeah, it's
So,
just kind of
are you?
expected that you do this,
Have
and it's
you
just.
found like many people to? Sorry, what was
Many
that?
people. Have I found many people to what? I think you're breaking up there a little bit. Yeah, I think he is. So we'll just wait. I love the booker. There. I get. Thanks. There you are. There you aren't. Have you had enough attention now?
No sound.
Hey, you're back.
Are we back on?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I was like, I knew something happened.
You were following up about. Oh, I forgot.
Tell people in particular about skepticism. Oh,
Okay, so I think I'm going to just ask your
can you still
question
hear?
for you because you have a bad connection. Sadie, my goodness, little girl. Sorry, Sadie, go play. Go get your toy. Go on. Go. Do I have a community of people where I can talk about skepticism? Yes. That is what Pangburn is. And that's why I gravitated towards it. Oh, she found her quail. Yeah, so that's what Pangburn is. It's a community of skeptics. We can go and talk about stuff. And your connection's going in and out.
All right. See, I have you back now.
Okay. Yes. Community of skeptics. That's what the Pangburn Discord is. We can talk about stuff. And Yeah, everything's fair game, which is nice because I can't really talk to my family about it or most of my friends because they're all Christians and they get defensive, which is understandable. Nobody wants to lose their faith.
Yeah, tough process. All right, and on that note, do you think that women are generally underrepresented in that community of skeptics and atheists?
Um, I wouldn't say that they're underrepresented. I would say maybe there are just fewer women who are skeptics for, whatever reason. Whether or not they're underrepresented, I can't really say. There don't seem to be that many. That I will say, there seem to be much fewer women than men. I think there's about 3 women to 300 men in our server right now. But that's not to say that they are not out there. They're just not where I am. But yeah.
Yeah, it seems to be too.
I don't know, maybe if women have a harder time talking about it. It probably has nothing to do with gender at the end of the day. I'm not one of those types who are like, more representation, equal representation. I mean, we're all different, and, your gender is sort of the least interesting thing about you, I think. But favorite phase of mitosis might be less interesting. Actually, no, I'd be interested in that information, let's be honest. Metaphase is my favorite phase of mitosis, if you were wondering. Turn my camera off?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Let people know you do kind of original artwork people can order.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely do. Go over to my Instagram, Pixel Art with M or Origami with M. They're both two different styles of art that I do. If you want art, send me a DM and we'll work something out. I make like custom hand-drawn stickers and stuff too. It's pretty fun. I think I lost you. Well, I can't hear you, but yeah, this was super fun, and I think I'm gonna sign off. Oh, it's just me. He's gone. He's gone! I don't know if he said goodbye. I didn't hear. You want to go outside? Oh, okay. In a second. Sorry, my dog wants to go outside. Are you there now? Hi.
Hi. So I was just saying, quit well to an hour. So is there anything else you want to tell people before we get off the air?
If you are an atheist or a skeptic, or you're just confused, you don't know what you believe, that's okay. You're not the only one. It's okay to be an atheist. It's okay to be religious, I suppose. We can talk about that too. You guys can find me on Twitter at 66millertime. It's a pretty good Twitter name. I'm also on Discord, m.miller number 4480. If you want to talk, we can talk about anything: faith, deconversion, life after faith, whatever's on your mind.
Too much time, and hopefully we can chat again soon.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to talk again. That'd be cool.
All right. You have a good night.
Yep, you too. Bye.